Black and white film of guide dogs and their owners transitions to matching. Black and white film of guide dogs and their owners transitions to matching colour footage from today. Black and white film of guide dogs and their owners transitions to matching colour footage from today.
We're approaching 100 years since the UK's first guide dog partnerships. And since then, we've transformed thousands of lives through a range of services.
Caption: The history of guide dogs. Archive photographs.
It all started in 1931 in a lock-up garage in Merseyside. Two innovative women, Muriel Crook and Rosamond Bond, started training dogs to support servicemen who had lost their sight in the First World War. Back then, the idea was pretty radical, but the impact was immediate. Within 3 years, we'd formed the Guide Dogs for the Blind Association. In 1941, we moved to our new home at Edmondscote Manor and began offering residential training to our new guide dog partnerships.
Black and white pictures and film of Edmondscote Manor.
By the 1950s, our guide dogs were attracting attention.
Black and white footage of a trainer walking down a busy street with his guide dog in training.
The idea of training dogs to guide the blind is comparatively new to this country, but the miracle of merging a guide dog and its master, mentally and physically, into a single unit has proved successful. And today the work of the Guide Dogs for the Blind Association is widely recognized.
In 1956, we began recruiting volunteers to raise our puppies.
Footage of a group of prospective guide dog owners walking past a pen of young puppies.
These are part of the new puppy walking scheme, an attempt to simplify the selection of suitable dogs as early as possible.
And we became a household name in 1965, thanks to Blue Peter and guide dog in training, Honey.
Black and white photos of Honey with Blue Peter presenters.
To raise happier, healthier dogs, we began our own breeding program in 1960, opening our Tollgate House Centre in 1968.
Old film of a technician checking a young pup.
In 1981, we introduced a new generation to our life-changing work when Blue Peter's dog, Goldie, gave birth to a litter of guide dog puppies.
Black and white photos of Goldie's puppies.
And from the mid-1990s, we began offering training to help people develop new skills.
Colour video shows people with sight loss using low vision aids and cane training.
But what a lot of people don't realise is that for many years we've also provided long cane training, basic orientation and mobility skills, work with low vision aids, and work with higher tech facilities.
We opened our state-of-the-art National Centre in 2011, helping us welcome over 1,000 little life changers each year.
Young puppies being groomed and resting outside at our National Centre.
In 2015, our volunteer community helped us launch our Access All Areas campaign, highlighting the impact of being refused access to shops, restaurants and taxis with a guide dog.
Campaigners collect signatures outside Parliament and engage with MPs. Elsewhere, a taxi drives off, leaving a guide dog owner stranded.
Blind Children UK and Guide Dogs became one charity in 2017, making us the UK's largest provider of services for children with sight loss, including mobility and life skills, large print books and buddy dogs.
Children with sight loss taking their first steps, cane training, reading large print books and fussing a buddy dog.
From 2020, we embraced technology to create new virtual services,
Guide dog staff video calling a mum and her baby.
developed and modernised our facilities,
A time-lapse of our Redbridge site being redeveloped.
and recruited and trained more frontline staff through our Guide Dogs Academy to increase the number of partnerships we can create.
A training session for new guide dog trainers and mobility specialists.
In 2021, we welcomed our new royal patron, the Duchess of Edinburgh, taking over from Princess Alexandra, who had served as a patron herself for over 60 years.
Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Edinburgh meets children we support and our dogs.
We launched our Open Doors campaign in 2022, alongside an app to report and help end illegal access refusals of guide dogs.
Guide dog owners experiencing access refusals and reporting them on their phones. Elsewhere, Guide Dogs volunteers are fundraising for us.
We've been able to achieve so much since 1931, thanks to the generosity of our supporters.
Children and adults we support smiling.
There are 2 million people living with sight loss in the UK, and this number is set to double by 2050. Sight loss isn't going away, and neither are we.
A montage of our staff, volunteers and dogs, and people with sight loss.
With new services and technologies, our amazing staff, volunteers, and our new centres, our dogs, and our supporters. We're here to help people live actively, independently, and well with sight loss. But we can only do this with your support. Visit guidedogs.org.uk to find out how you can support our life-changing work.
The Guide Dogs logo.
Guide Dogs. Visit guidedogs.org.uk to find out how you can support people with sight loss.